I guess when you add 88 T's and you add a letter X, you get TEDx Honolulu. But yeah, if you guys don't know what that is, you have to search that up. It's all over YouTube and stuff. It's the new thing. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know if you guys can see this. My pen's running out of ink, pretty bad. But so you're wondering, right? Two stick figures, obviously. Some sort of valley or something, obviously. Well, that valley is actually the Grand Canyon. To emphasize and blow up the example as big as I possibly could in my own mind, 2.5 years ago, I just got to my GoPro Hero 3 White Edition, and I would just film in my car, driving from home to work, work after work, to wherever I'd end up going, parking in some parking lot, just vlogging. A friend of mine's told me that I should do that daily. I mean, for the sake of dropping $25 on a mini SD card, and I just stockpiling the mini SD cards, so I didn't have my MacBook at the time, and the PC that I had wasn't really the best PC, let's just say. The point of it being, though, is that I'd end up going through SD cards, mini SD cards like crazy, dropping like 25 bucks on those things for like 8 gigs, 16 gigs, whatnot. And just footage of me just filming myself in my car, no proper place to put my GoPro Hero 3. It was just on the stand that it comes stock when you first buy it, and I just laid it down like somewhere in my car, and you could see the rocking and the and everything like that. And the audio quality was not so great, but I would just talk about random topics to myself, to the GoPro Hero 3 in my car. It wasn't getting on YouTube. It wasn't definitely getting on Facebook. So I was just stockpiling all this footage, and I came across the topic of relationships, and I came up with this, this illustration once again. And you're probably wondering, wow, that's really terrible. Did you go to art school? No, I did. But I used to do a whole lot better art than this a long time ago. But anyways, so you got two people and you got the Grand Canyon. Now, I was, in my head when I was vlogging about that topic 2.5 years ago or so, roughly around about that time, I was saying to myself, okay, two-way street, give and take, 50-50, all this kind of phrases about relationships was popping to my head, and I wanted to just create a clear illustration for myself and for whoever would happen to stumble upon that vlog, if that vlog ever made it through editing, uploading, editing, and then through the software, and then finally up onto Facebook and or YouTube, and it didn't. So I'm here now, and here it is. Supposing both those people know themselves, know the real them, not what they feel, not what they think, but what is and what isn't them, to keep this as raw as possible and as reality-based as possible. They see each other, and obviously the illustration is the Grand Canyon. If you've never been there before, I've never been there before. It's a pretty big place from all accounts. If one person were to stand on one side and you were to stand on the other side, you can't really, ideally, you can't really whisper and have them clearly hear what you're trying to say, right? Which is what I'm trying to get at here, which is where the over-exaggerated illustration comes from, is that you need to yell to get your point across. One, in a relationship, you never yell. Ever, right? Honestly, that's just communication breakdown. Like Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, miscommunication, or no, communication breakdown. Yeah, that's the downfall of a relationship. So what does that Grand Canyon mean? That means that I gotta get to you. That's just what it is. It's like, shoot, if you're my friend, or you're, for all intents and purposes, I want you to be more than a friend, I have to get to you. I have to be with you. We have to experience life together, right? Honestly, even if it's platonic. You're not real friends unless you go through experiences, trials and tribulations, battles and whatnot. I help you out, you help me out, I scratch your back, you scratch my back, etc., etc. So it goes without saying that you need to get across the Grand Canyon, or they got to get across the Grand Canyon. Somehow, some way, we got to be able to meet each other in the middle. So this illustration right here, you got to build a bridge. I feel, in my personal opinion, a bridge needs to be made. Now, you got to be able to assess what materials they have, what materials you have, and that will paint a pretty clear picture as to a viable bridge that you'll make. Now, that that goes without saying that the weather, etc., you know, other things that are out of your control are gonna play a key factor because it always does. Life is unpredictable, so nothing's ever gonna be smooth, nothing's ever gonna be perfect, and you'll seldom, if ever, find a relationship that is literally 50-50, because people have to give and they have to take. People have to have what the other one doesn't have to round off the fact that the other one doesn't have that, to make the relationship stronger, more wholesome. Because nobody has everything, honestly. So this is reality based. This is real business right here. I ain't gonna shoot nothing with you that ain't real. So that's pretty much what a relationship is, right? I mean, obviously, if you're not thinking of it that way, then you're really dabbling in something that you don't know nothing about yet. You know, you gotta be able to assess yourself, because when it comes time to build the bridge, you as an individual and you guys as together, whether it's a couple, whether it's romantic, whether it's platonic, you guys have to assess your relationship, aka your bridge. What does your bridge look like? How strong or how weak is it? What is it made of? You know, when was the last time that you guys upgraded, or you guys decided to focus on the bond that you guys share, you know, and do what it takes to build it up stronger, better? It's simple questions right here that, if you don't take things for granted, which we're humans, we're gonna take things for granted. Even I take things for granted, you know. But that aside, you gotta be, you know, focusing on that bridge. Now, some people, you know, they think they got the Brooklyn Bridge, but in reality, they got the rope bridge with the freaking wood planks going across the damn thing. Now, if you ask me, I wouldn't cross the Grand Canyon on 2 ropes and a bunch of wood planks. That's stupid right there. In my opinion, that's stupid. Then again, I play it more safe than sorry. So that's my style. That's my gameplay right there, for all intents and purposes, for you guys. So if I were to structurally build a bridge with somebody, you better believe I'm building that bridge big and strong. You know, I'm gonna build it like the Brooklyn Bridge or something, or like San Francisco Gate Bridge, you know, or the London Bridge, because it's always falling down. I'm just joking, but seriously though, if your aim is not to build a strong relationship with your friends, with your family, with your future other or whatever, then what's the aim? You see what I'm getting at here? So, case point being, it comes all the way back down to what the bridge looks like, the structural integrity of the bridge. You know, what is it built out of? Metal? Steel? Is it built out of wood and rope? To know what it is and isn't built out of is important, because that will put the time duration in between when you built it and the next time it's got to be maintained. Does that make any sense? So if I break that down into relationship terms, if, let's just say, you guys got together, but the way you guys got together was, it wasn't as deep as it could have been. It was off of really shallow reasons. I hate to use the word shallow. I like to use the word surface level, because there's really no such thing as shallow nowadays. You know, to be honest with you, that's a shame to say that, but to be honest with you, you know, if you built it off of weak foundations, as I'll put it, weak foundations that your house is built on, then obviously the structural integrity of the unit itself is at risk, which limits how much you can and can't do in that unit. Right? Does that make any logical sense? That means if the house that I got right now is built on 2 pieces of wood, obviously I can't be throwing house parties, right? Obviously I can't invite more than 5 people in my house, or else the freaking foundation going to break and the whole house going to collapse into a sinkhole, right? Obviously. So you got to be able to see all that. You got to be able to acknowledge that this is how crappy our bond and relationship is. However, fortunately enough, I've seen it, and I'm going to be doing something about it. You see, so it's like that. But case point being, Grand Canyon experiment, 2 people, figure it out. That's what it is. It comes down to it. What is your bridge? Yeah, it's simple questions. Ask yourself simple questions. What does your bridge look like? You know? If you want to build a bridge with somebody, I would suggest you know yourself first. And, you know, like one of my mentors said, you know, he what he said was that he doesn't understand where people can be so cocky, arrogant, and prideful when they struggle so much in life. He never understood where that complex came from. You know, so if, I don't mean to push or step on anybody's toes, but if you find yourself being cocky or arrogant or overly prideful when you're struggling and just barely making it by, then I suggest you get humble really fast, because your pride and your ego is only gonna dampen your ability to grow and your ability to negotiate through problems and be able to effectively say that this is what it is and that I need to do this, this, and this to make it happen. Because that's what life is. It's built on action. If you're not taking any action, then no action is going to get done. If no action gets done, nothing changes. If nothing changes, it stays the way it is. And it's my personal belief, going off, amplified, one of my mentors said, it's my personal belief that if you're not seeking the change, which is that end result after that whole entire phrase, if you're not seeking the change, then you must be happy where you are. And if you're happy where you are, then what's the change, right? Keep doing what you're doing. But Sadaki here, I'm not happy where I'm at. And personally, I don't put any limit on where I can get or where I can be or who I can be in life. And it's my personal suggestion that you don't do the same either. But I'll catch you guys later. Stay fucking brass, man. Shit, choking myself, and I'll see you guys when I see you guys on the next vlog. Shoots.